Amy.
I'm Wendell.
And I'm Patrick.
And
This is
Yes,
But Why?
Podcast.
I feel like I keep talking. I have a baby, right? So I'm going to talk about my baby all the time. But every time I talk about my baby, I feel like, ugh, I can't believe I'm that person talking about my baby.
Yeah, but you also have to like deal with having a baby, and so part of the deal is you get to
People have to listen to my stories.
It's like if you partake in the miracle of raising a child, perpetuating the human race, then yeah, okay, you also get to tell people stories.
I'm trying to use it like legitimately, and this is very geeky of me, but I'm trying to use it to study human behavior so that it can help me be a better improv teacher. And I know that sounds crazy. But I feel like improv is like the essence of who we are as children. So I'm just going to study my child so that I can try to help adults reach this nirvana that is childhood.
Right. Have you read Impro by Keith Johnstone?
I haven't. People keep talking about it, and I'm going to because that's a thing.
I mean, some people read that book and it's a really weird book and they don't get it. But it's not really about improv as much as it's about, like, who were we before, like, all of this, like, cultural stuff fucked us up. And it's this, like, Keith Johnstone is basically this guy who is like, what happened to me to where I can't be creative, or I just feel like I'm just this like hollow person.
Interesting.
And one of the things that he did was become a school teacher, and the process of like taking kids that were supposed to be like these bad kids or whatever, and finding out that it's like, no, they're just like, they just don't get to be able to express themselves when they're not understood for what they're saying or whatever. And and so you read it, and it is like, it's about improv, but it's very much in that sense of like, what's fundamental human nature, right? But anyways, you have the story, not me. So.
No, you're fine. I like it because it helps. If there's a book that can help lead me in my path while I'm doing it, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think what makes improv so powerful for me is it's a book about what does it mean to be a human being, and that's like all the really significant works I think talk about that in a really direct way.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like every year I get a little bit older. I don't know if you're in your 30s yet, but once you get there, you think you're real wise. Uh-oh. Because I'm about to turn 40, and I was like, what the hell am I talking about? And I was like, oh, cool, new level. Maybe it'll be my 40 to 50 will be my, like, I don't know, man. The world is what it is. Like,
wait a minute. When I was a teenager, I thought I knew everything.
Right.
And then when I was thrust into adulthood, I was like, I don't know anything.
Right.
So I'm going to get back into thinking I know everything in my 30s.
Everything. Yeah, I give a lot of advice, you know? Because, I mean, I'm doing teaching, and I'm teaching improv. So it's a lot of, like, life lesson advice. And, and also ways to, like, chill out to be able to do it. So it's like I have to chill everybody out for a couple weeks and then go, so who wants to perform on a stage together? Cool. Because not everyone's into that. And I love teaching level 1. It's my absolute favorite. But so I watch my child, right? He is 8 months old, about to be 9 months old. And he's real little, figuring everything out, just getting to start to crawl, whatever. But the way that he learns stuff is through anger. He literally will, like, he'll go to do something and he can't do it. He'll go to do it again, he can't do it. And then he's like, ah! And he starts yelling and screaming. And at first, I was worried about reacting to him yelling. So I just look at him when he yells to see, are you in mortal danger or what? And if he's not, I just sort of let him scream for a second to be like, all right, well, show me what the problem is, and then I'll help you when you give me a little bit more information. And a lot of times, it's just him being like, and thrusting himself up or rolling himself over, or like finally using his arm to pull himself forward in a way he's never done. You know, he learns new things. He gets over hurdles. And I think that a lot of people have anger in their life and use it in a negative way. But right now he's using anger in a positive way. And so I'm trying to figure out how I can reinforce that so that it's like don't let anger be something that ruins stuff.
Yeah.
We're all angry. It's what's going to happen. It's totally fine. But the thing about it is that you want to be able to use it so that you can, become a better person. You can get over hurdles that are really difficult. Whatever that might be.
Not to get too bleak, but like Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor who wrote the book Night, and he talks about like anger and like what can it mean, when you go through like experiences like that, and your reaction is just like such like anger and hatred and stuff, and it's like the solution isn't like suppress these feelings or whatever because they're bad or whatever, or even like forgiveness because it's easy or whatever. It's you can use it to motivate you to do good, and that's where there's like a meaning from it.
Yeah. That
it can be like, if something really makes you angry, then you can use that energy that it gives you to go do something good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Try to use the energy towards positivity versus making the negativity more. Yeah, because I feel like that's a lot that's happening right now. With people just getting angry.
Just in a cycle and you're not doing anything, then it's like, okay, it's what do you do with this besides just suppressing it or just like taking it out on your friends or something?
Yeah, totally. So yeah, my like recent thing in my brain has been like emotions, so that was my like, I'm starting to check it out and see what he's doing and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's just my own little like improv thing.
So wait, how old is he?
He's 8 months. So,
wow.
He's real low.
Oh man.
He's cute though, and he's not angry a lot, which is why I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm angry a lot, but I always go, what are you angry for? And sometimes there's reasons, but sometimes there aren't.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I need to figure out how to work this out. But I think my adult anger is different than a child's anger, so I'm trying to navigate both of those and figure out what they're about.
I read a book on like child behavior called How to Speak So Children Will Listen and How to Listen So Children Will Speak. And one of the core of it is, part of it is like when kids have like strong emotions, they literally don't know what they are because they haven't experienced them before.
Yeah.
Which is like hard to even like understand that perspective now. But yeah, there was a point where I would be sad and I didn't know I was like what this was. It was like this new overwhelming experience or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things you do when you're interacting with a child who's like feeling a strong emotion is you literally just tell them the emotion that they're feeling. And that like abates a lot of the like feeling that they have and helps them deal with it. Yeah. Which is like, it's nothing you would never do with a normal person, you'd think. But of course, because they're talking about how you can deal with kids, it totally applies to how you can deal with adults, right? I'm
going to be honest with you, though, in my teaching of level 1 improv, I find that a lot of people are not in touch with what emotions feel like.
Yeah.
I've done an exercise for a while where I'll have people do, like, everyone at once, so nobody's listening to each other, have a monologue to themselves that is about whatever thing is going to rile them up in the emotion that we're focusing on. So if it's angry, it's like, great, figure out something you're angry about, and then just start ranting about it. And then you're going to get angrier and angrier, and I want you to feel how that feels in your body. And then same with happy. What's something that like you totally want so much and you're getting real excited about it, pretend you got it. And then live that moment. Like, you just got on SNL. What's that feel like? You know, that kind of stuff.
And then, that can be a really major experience for somebody who's like, oh my God, I wasn't allowed to feel feelings, or nobody like told me.
Well, the other thing too is a lot of people will say to me like, well, I'm not an actor, so I can't. And I go, okay, well, you don't have to be an actor. You're just a person who feels stuff, right? I said, so I'll make them tell me how their body reacted to each emotion. And then I'll go, okay, note that for yourself. So, like, for me, my, like, jaw gets real tight when I'm angry. And then when I'm happy, my like, shoulders are high and my hands are up. You know, like, that's just what happens. And so knowing that, even if I don't feel it in a scene, if I have to express it, I can do the physical physical thing, and it brings up a little bit of it in my psyche to be like, oh, this is happy motion.
Yeah.
You're happy now, yay! And then I'm a bit more in
cool.
that thing. And also it's more real because it's like, you know, you've seen actors who like act like they think the way people act when they're sad or happy or whatever, and you're like, what's this man doing?
Actor playing an actor feeling emotions, not actor channeling emotion, right?
Yeah, exactly. So to that end, I wonder, when did you start performing? What was your initial performing situation?
Performing for me, in the broadest sense, was I was in middle school. And I took this elective called The Wheel, which is where every couple of months you would take a different elective. And one of the electives was drama, so theater. And it was just the best thing ever. I just had all these like feelings and like sense of wanting to express myself and all that kind of stuff. And like taking that class in middle school like really resonated with me. And I formed a relationship with the teacher. Her name's Diana Rogers. It's great. And her deal was like, she was this phenomenal actress with like great credentials. She was on Les Mis, like the touring Les Mis or something, which is like, oh my God.
Yeah, what a great gig.
But she, like, life stuff, for whatever reason, she settled down in Florida to teach drama at middle school. And right when I switched over to high school, she switched over to the high school. So I had... basically my high school identity was very much tied up in like theater classes and the shows and classes taken with her and my friend group and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And that's how I really got into performing. And there was a little bit of improv that we got to do. That was really fun. But, you know, it was like high school drama class improv.
So she was the coach from middle school all the way through high school?
I had her for at least a year in middle school, and then in high school I was definitely like, oh, I can take electives. I definitely want to do drama because of how much I liked it when I tried it in middle school.
Oh, okay. But Diana Rogers wasn't your coach in high school?
She was.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
She was the teacher for all 4 years I had.
Oh, all right. Right on.
And I did like all these like hokey musicals and plays that she directed and whatever. And it was great. I loved it.
Do you remember how old she was?
I don't.
Okay, just because I've realized lately, because I had like a... I did high school theater I went to an all-girls school and I did it at the all-boys school, but my senior year, me and a few of the independent ladies, air quotes, were like, Sister Mercedes, the boys' school has theater, but we don't. That's unfair. You should get us theater. And so they, like, must have Craigslisted a, like, looking for drama teacher because a girl who was 19, and at the time, it didn't occur to us how young she was.
No, she was old enough to have an adult son.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. She was,
because it was like later on in years, I was like, that girl was 2 years older than this guy. Like, we just were like, okay, she's the director now. Okay, let's do this. And she was weird, but we were like, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wondered, because it's always funny to have those sorts of teachers where it's like, you realize like how old they were and you pass that age personally. And then you're like, oh my God, what if I got that job like she did or whatever?
Yeah, becoming an adult, and one of those transitions was like once I started talking to like parental figures, and they were it was like how they talked to me. It shifted from like them talking down as like this authority to them talking to me as an equal, as like, oh, we're all in this together, and figuring out and finding out just how like they have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you're like, yeah, they had all that stuff done. They're like 3 times older than me. They have all this, they make all these decisions and make all these rules and like always know what to do or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, they were freaking out just as much as me. They were just hiding it because they had to.
Oh man, yeah, it is funny to think about those kinds of things, especially when it's like, I feel like if you've gone through something more than once, you know, like as you get older, I think that's also why you think you're extra wise in your 30s.
It's already done.
Because bad things have happened and you're not dead yet. So you're like, hey, you know what? I think I can handle some stuff. But the trouble is, every time you get cocky, something happens. And then you're like, no, I didn't want to handle it. I just knew that I could.
And I feel like that is such a, like, as an improviser, as soon as you start thinking that you're awesome, you have, like,